Hi, my name is Kevin Steuer. I'm managing partner at StockTA.com. We just did some recent updates to the site. I've been asked to do a couple more tutorial videos. So here's a couple short videos on how the website works for our new users, and I'm going to share my screen to start walking you through it. So very important up top here, this is where you find your profile, all your information, login, password. We make all our users sign up to prevent bots from coming in. It really helps manage the traffic better and keep the spam away. So here are popular stocks, all the different things, whether they're indexes or popular tech stocks or ETFs that people trade. Here's some of our sponsors. Here's the area where your portfolio is. More sponsors. Here's how you find our YouTube podcast, featured stocks, econ news, and then down below, there's privacy policy, terms of service, disclaimer. This is not investment advice. This is for research and educational purposes only. I'm not a registered financial advisor, so please make your own decisions before investing any of your own money into these crazy markets. And then the facts page. The facts page is interesting because that gives you a little more insight into how our time frames work, how what the different colors mean, what different indicators we use, um, what time we pull the data. So we usually pull the data after the market closes around 5. It runs for an hour, maybe 2 if it's a really volatile day in the market, and then it updates and you'll see data published. We do not do intraday data, just end of day data because we found that to be more accurate. And then also down below is if you need to contact us, it's admin@stockta.com, contact page here. If you need to get a hold of us, have advice, questions, comments, concerns. So next part is here's back to the main page. So part 2 here is I'm going to show you how the actual stock analysis works. So we'll pick Apple. So Apple is right here. Any day that's a green day is in green. Any day that's in red is in red. Here's the volume down below. Here's kind of the information. This was the last trade on Friday, how much it changed the volume. Here are the different chart indicators that we use. So green would be bullish, orange is neutral, red is bearish. And then we use a confluence system. So anything that has a supporter 1 through 5 would be small or weak supporter resistance. Anything in the 5 to 15 range would be medium, and anything over 15 would be a large supporter resistance confluence number. And confluence is just a fancy term in technical analysis, basically where things meet. So we measure and map all these different price movements throughout the day, and we look for patterns, and we try to find these pivot points where you find, different areas that you can either use as support for stops or entries or exits from a stock. So it's really however your personal trading style works, whether you're a day trader, options trader, swing trader, long-term passive investor. There's a lot of versatility in this product. And then the other thing that's really cool is the analysis part. So we have a couple different ways that the analysis works, but it's overall short, intermediate, and long term. And we assign all those different time frames a trend score. So they can be very bearish, bearish, neutral, bullish, or very bullish. So neutral would be 0. The most bullish something get is a 1, and the least or the most bearish something would be a -1. So you're looking at a range from -1 to 0 to +1. So we try to keep that really simple, but the analysis is a really good way to track the trend score to see if there's trend exhaustion. If you see the stock starting to lose bullish trend score, that could be a time to get out of a stock. If you see a stock flip from neutral to bearish or bullish to bearish, if you're someone who likes the short stocks, that could be a good entry point for a short, or the reverse. If you're short something and it's starting to gain signal strength, that could be a signal that it might be time to get out of that short and either just get out of it completely or then flip and go long it. So that's support and resistance. That's the confluence. I think there is IBIT. So that has a confluence of 17. So that's more of a medium confluence. Let's see if I can find a stock that has. This one also has a 17. This one is very bullish with a 0.56. So the dollar's done really well lately. Microsoft has been weak lately. So that one has a resistance of 17. So that's not good. If you're long Microsoft, bearish, overall neutral, short term. MSTR is another one that hasn't been doing well lately. So if you see this one has gone down a lot, this was a $200 stock in early May. It's now under $100, so 50% in less than 3 months. So that's been very bearish or bearish overall. Let's go back and find one that's a little better looking. QQQ, again, 17 seems to be a popular confluence score all of a sudden today. But we cover EMAs, so we use 5, 13, 20, and 50. So if you look here, you can see, where this crossover is, where the breakout could be, and we measure to see if the 5's over the 13, if the 13's above or below the 20, and then if the 5, 13, and 20 are below or above the 50. So that's a really kind of easy way to get a read on, EMAs and which way the trend's going. We also have MACD. You can see we do slow, fast and slow MACD just like everybody else, but gives you a very easy way to understand. Then we have RSI, same kind of deal. For those of you who understand RSI and trade, we do TDD, which is 3-day displaced. We do Fibonacci. We do highs and lows. We do stochastics, and we also do the trend, which I find very interesting. I'm going to explain that in a second. The next thing I'm going to share is my screen, and we're going to talk through how the trend score works. So we use a pretty unique system that's the slope and the R square. So the slope is basically the speed and the direction. And obviously a negative slope means the stock is going down. This shows how much it's changing by the day. So top for long term is going down by 12 cents a day. Intermediate terms going down by $1.86. And then the R square is a reliability score. So it goes from 0 to 1. So 0.80 to 1 is high reliability. Anything below 0.50 is low reliability. So this gives you, intermediate wise, this gives you a pretty high reliability score for that channel. So you can understand and see where this is in a downtrend and where this channel is trading. So this is another way for you to either go long a stock or go short it, depending on what kind of trader you are. But this is also what makes us different from some other traders. Next up, I want to share the stock screen. So stock screen, you go here, you can build your own one if you really want to, but we have some that are already pre-made for you, which our users really like. So you have bullish stocks, bearish stocks, candlesticks, trending, Fibonacci, EMA breakouts, MACD, and RSI. So it really depends on what kind of trader you are. But if you go, short-term bullish, you can say I'm in the US, can click and it'll give you a list of stocks. And this is just across all different sectors, right? So there's no, if you're looking to get outside of tech, this is a good way to diversify. Like you can pick American Airlines, which has done really well. If you go stock screen and go bearish, you can look at something overall or short term. So gold hasn't done very well lately. You can see very bearish overall, bearish short term. A lot of heavy, medium to heavy resistance numbers above it. And then if you go back to the stock screen, you can look for stuff, again, depending on what kind of trader you are. If you like the MACD, if you like RSI crossovers, it's really dependent on, again, what kind of trader you are. But this is a tool that a lot of our traders really like because it helps you catch, like, financials have done well lately. This is something we've been bullish on since it broke out even back here and then went bullish back here again. But this is just a great tool to kind of up your game if you're looking for some new stock ideas. And then the last part will be portfolio. So if this is your portfolio, you can add in, whatever ticker that we cover that we watch. So if I'm long Dell, you can put it in your portfolio. So you can type in a symbol here. So say IBIT for crypto. Hit add, comes in right here. So now if you go to portfolio, you can see, gives you kind of what your entry was, what it recently was, short-term, intermediate, long-term. So it's just a really easy way to kind of add in some different symbols. So again, if you want gold, GLD, add. So we make it very easy. And then if you need to delete something, edit, delete, done. So again, very simple. He can create multiple portfolios. I have different watch lists. I have different, different sectors that I keep an eye on. So a lot of different ways to keep yourself organized as a trader here. And that's all I have for today. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And thank you for joining us today.